Level 1, the rounding error. You type 0.1 into your calculator. Then you add 0.2. Simple. You expect 0.3. You do not get 0.3. You get 0.3 with 15 zeros and 4. You stare at the screen. Something is wrong, not with you, with the machine. Your calculator cannot actually hold the number 0.1, not precisely, not in binary. Binary is the only language it speaks. It stores everything as ones and zeros. But 0.1 in binary is 0.00011. It repeats forever. The machine has to cut it off somewhere, so it does. Right there, a tiny error is born. It is invisible. It is permanent. The calculator keeps moving. It never tells you. You trust the answer. That trust is already broken. You just don't know it yet. Level 2. The accumulation. One rounding error is harmless, barely a scratch. But you do not run one calculation. You run thousands. Scientists do this constantly. They feed a computer the same operation over and over and over. Each pass adds another sliver of error. The errors stack, they compound, they multiply on top of each other. Imagine simulating the Earth's orbit around the sun. Your formula is almost perfect, almost. It carries a fractional error of just 1/10 per pass. Tiny, irrelevant. You simulate for 1 century of orbital time. That fractional error is now 32%. 32. Your Earth is not where Earth should be. The machine never panicked. It just kept adding. The damage was done quietly, 1 decimal at a time. This is how the calculator breaks without breaking. Level 3, the hidden defect. It is 1994. A mathematics professor named Thomas Nicely is at Lynchburg College. He is writing code to find prime numbers, twin primes, prime triplets. He adds a new Pentium processor to his lab. He runs his calculations again. The answers are wrong, not wildly wrong, subtly wrong. He checks his code, clean. He checks his other computers. They agree with each other. The Pentium disagrees. He spends months ruling out every other cause. Finally, on October 24th, 1994, he contacts Intel. The problem is inside the chip itself. The Pentium's division unit uses a lookup table. 5 entries in that table are missing. When you divide certain specific pairs of numbers, the chip returns a wrong answer. Try it yourself. Divide 4,195,835 by 3,145,727. Your Pentium gives you the wrong result. The error reaches the 5th significant digit in the worst cases. Intel already knew. They said nothing. Level 4. The fallout. Intel's position is simple. Most users will never hit the bad number pairs. The error is statistically rare. They will replace your chip only if you can prove you need it. This does not go well. The public does not care about statistical rarity. They care that their processor lies. The story spreads. Intel eventually surrenders. They replace every affected Pentium chip, no questions asked. The total cost is $475 million, nearly $500 million. Gone. Because 5 numbers were missing from a table inside a sliver of silicon. The Pentium FDIV bug becomes a case study, not just in engineering, in trust. Your hardware makes promises. When it breaks one, even a small one, you question all the others. The machine had been wrong in secret. That is the part people cannot forgive. Level 5. The clock that kills. It is 1991. A Patriot missile battery is running in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. The system has been active for around 100 hours straight. Inside the software, a clock keeps time by counting tenths of a second. Each tenth of a second, it adds 0.1 to a 24-bit register. The problem is familiar now. 1/10 cannot be stored exactly in binary. The stored version is slightly too small, by just 0.0 with 6 zeros and 95 per tenth of a second. That seems impossible to matter. But after 100 hours, those tiny errors add up to 0.34 seconds of drift. The clock is 0.34 seconds behind reality. A Scud missile travels at 1,676 meters per second. In 0.34 seconds, it moves 570 meters. The Patriot looks for the incoming Scud inside a narrow tracking window. The Scud is 570 meters outside that window. The Patriot sees nothing. It stands down. The Scud hits a barracks. 28 American soldiers die. The rounding error killed them. Level 6, the rocket, June 4th, 1996. The Ariane 5 rocket sits on the launch pad, a decade of development behind it. $7 billion spent. The rocket lifts off. 37 seconds pass. The guidance computer crashes. It crashes because it tried to convert a number, a 64-bit floating point number. It needed to squeeze that number into a 16-bit integer. The floating point value was too large. It did not fit. The conversion failed. The backup guidance system had already crashed seconds earlier. Same reason, same code. Both systems are running identical software with the same flaw. The rocket loses all attitude control. It veers off course. The self-destruct system activates. $500 million of rocket and payload disappear in a fireball over French Guiana. 40 seconds. That is all it took. The error was not new. The software was borrowed from the older Ariane 4. It worked fine on Ariane 4. Ariane 5 flew faster. The numbers got bigger. The integer overflowed. Nobody checked. Level 7, the spreadsheet. Not every computational failure destroys rockets. Some just humiliate you quietly. Windows 3.0 ships with a basic calculator. You type 12.52. You subtract 12.51. The answer is 0, not 0.01. 0. The machine confidently tells you that 12.52 minus 12.51 equals nothing. You sit there. You check your arithmetic by hand. You are not wrong. The calculator is wrong. Then there is Excel 2007. Someone multiplies 850 by 77.1. The correct answer is 65,535. Excel displays 100,000. It does not display 65,535. It displays a completely different number with complete confidence. The software ran for years without issue. Then, one specific calculation tripped a hidden flaw. It made the news. Microsoft issued a patch, but for a moment, spreadsheets across the world were lying to accountants, to engineers, to anyone who trusted the number on the screen. Level 8, the exam. It is 2 a.m. You have a test in 6 hours. You are running the same calculation for the 4th time. You keep getting different answers depending on which step you round first. You are not making mistakes. The order of operations changes how rounding errors accumulate. Your calculator is giving you technically correct answers, each one slightly different, each one is defensible. None of them is exactly right. You pick one, you write it down, you go to sleep, you get the problem marked wrong. The teacher's answer key used a different rounding order. Both of you were right, both of you were wrong. The machine sat there. It does not feel responsible. It processed exactly what you gave it. It returned exactly what its binary limits allowed. The error was always there. You just finally met it at the worst possible time. Level 9, the tax return. You are not a criminal. You round to the nearest dollar. Everyone rounds to the nearest dollar. The IRS instructions say you can round to the nearest dollar. You round 16 of them. Each one introduces a small error. They do not cancel out cleanly. They drift in one direction. Your total is off by $11. The software catches it before you file. You fix it. Crisis avoided. But somewhere, someone did not catch it. A business running 40,000 transactions a month through automated accounting software. Each transaction is rounded, each rounding error a fraction of a cent. After a year, the fractions become dollars. The dollars become thousands. The audit finds a discrepancy. The software ran perfectly. It just rounded. It always just rounded. The machine knew nothing else. Level 10, the TI-84. It has been in classrooms since 2004. Inside it, the same floating point arithmetic runs, the same binary approximations, the same invisible rounding on every operation. It carries every error it has ever made silently in the logic of its firmware. It does not remember the failed exam. It does not remember the tax return. It does not remember Dhahran or Ariane 5. But the math that caused all of those things runs inside it every time you press equals. The calculator keeps going. It always keeps going.